Hi there, people of YouTube. Today we are untangling the web of how the crazy scientist, Adriana Soria, became the one and only Spider Queen. Yep, you heard it right. Move over, Spider-Man, there's a new 8-legged superstar in town. Adriana Soria, a brilliant scientist with an insatiable curiosity, embarked on an experiment that would forever alter her destiny and that of a certain friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. What started out as a quest for groundbreaking discoveries took an unforeseen turn when an experiment aimed at harnessing spider abilities went awry. But that's not all. Brace yourselves for the shocking twist that left Spider-Man himself entangled in Adriana's web. Quite literally, the tale of Spider Queens is a cautionary one, and let's find out why. Before we get into the explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. She was a test subject. Experimental origins of Adriana Soria. Back in the midst of World War II, Adriana, Anna Soria, stepped up and joined the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps. But things were about to get a whole lot weirder. See, there was this wild idea to bring back those super soldier experiments that whipped up Captain America. And guess what? Anna got herself drafted into this crazy plan under the name Operation Crossroads. She was like a pioneer, breaking barriers as the first female Marine who dove headfirst into combat. Now, here's where things took a wild turn. They planted Anna and her crew at Bikini Atoll, the kind of place that sounds like it should be a vacation spot, but it was ground zero for nuclear tests. Why, you ask? Well, they wanted to see if all that radiation could trigger some hidden superpowers. But life has a way of throwing curveballs, and this one was a doozy. Most of Anna's squad ended up sicker than dogs from radiation poisoning, which is about as far from superhero stuff as you can get. But Anna, she ended up on a different wavelength. Instead of getting sick, her body somehow managed to adapt to all that radiation. You think that that'd mean she'd be swinging from skyscrapers in no time, right? Wrong. Instead, her mind started doing its own acrobatics. The stress, the radiation, the sheer craziness of it all. It was a recipe for disaster. While her buddies were getting weaker, Anna's grip on reality was slipping. Those powers everyone hoped for, they were a no-show, but they were in there, biding their time, waiting for their big moment. Turns out, the bigwigs behind the operation weren't too thrilled with the results. They stamped failure on Anna's file and chucked her into an institution. Can you imagine? Locked away, her potential squashed, her mind spiraling. But Anna wasn't about to let that be the end of her story. Fast forward to the 1950s, and our girl's had enough. She breaks free. And what does she do? She goes after the big cheese behind the whole operation. Scientist David Jaffe. Remember Operation Crossroads? Yep, he was the brain behind it. And Anna, she's out for revenge. Plain and simple. Snatching up Jaffe wasn't just payback, though it was a power move. She wanted answers, wanted to know why her life took such a messed up detour. By yanking Jaffe into her tangled web, the Spider Queen made a statement. She was calling the shots now, digging into the secrets that turned her into something more than human. Adriana Soria's journey, from army recruit to the Spider Queen, was one wild roller coaster. She got tangled up in a scheme that was supposed to make her a superhero, but instead, it took her sanity for a spin. Her transformation into the Spider Queen wasn't just about powers. It was about pushing back against a world that tried to break her. She becomes Spider Queen and turns Spider-Man into a real spider. Locked away in confinement for what felt like an eternity, Anna's potential simmered beneath the surface, biding its time. And then, like a lightning bolt from the blue, her powers exploded into life. The birth of the Spider Queen was upon us. Folks, she didn't just tiptoe into the spotlight. Oh no, she burst forth with all the ferocity of a hurricane, commandeering a towering Manhattan skyscraper. The Spider Queen carved out her kingdom. She wasn't alone in her deeds though. No, she surrounded herself with a swarm of devoted insect minions. But here's where things slid into the realm of dark and twisted. The Spider Queen's craving for power took a sharp left turn when she crossed paths with none other than Spider-Man. You know, the friendly neighborhood web slinger? Only this time, things got seriously unfriendly. With her insect army at her beck and call, the Spider Queen spun her web around Spider-Man. She didn't just trap him physically, she ensnared his mind too. It's like she pulled the strings of his thoughts, making him dance to her tune. And then in a move that could only come from a supervillain playbook, she planted a kiss on him. Except it wasn't your typical love insect romance, you know, like lovebirds, but insects. No, this kiss was a delivery system for some weird enzyme thing that her saliva possesses. That enzyme set off a chain reaction, twisting and distorting Spider-Man's very essence. You won't believe what happened next. The guy transformed into an actual spider. 8 legs, multiple eyes, the whole shebang. Imagine the shock, from a heroic wall crawler to a creepy crawly critter. As Spider-Man's human side crumbled, the Spider Queen's influence tightened its grip. He fought against the spider instincts taking over, but Anna wasn't one to play fair. She cranked up the sinister factor, using her human drones as pawns in a sick game. She ordered them to off themselves just to mess with Spider-Man's head, and let me tell you, the poor guy's will was cracking under the pressure. But hey, you know who doesn't back down? Captain America. The shield-wielding sentinel of justice saw through Anna's charade and decided it was time to shut down her twisted reign. The final showdown unfolded, a clash of wills and powers, and guess what? Cap emerged victorious. In a fitting climax, the Spider Queen's dominion crumbled. She tumbled from her lofty perch, and just like that, her reign of terror came crashing down. Anna's story was a whirlwind, a journey from confinement to chaos to ultimate defeat. Well, her moment was amazing while it lasted. The return of the Queen. Oh, you thought this was over? Well, obviously not. Queens don't fall that easily. She came right back. Not only that, the Queen came up with a grand yet twisted plan this time. She wanted to give everyone spider-like powers and control them. To make this happen, she teamed up with a guy named the Jackal. She gave him a piece of Peter Parker's old skin, and he hooked up a virus that connected people to something called the Web of Life. This gave them powers like Spider-Man's and turned them into spiders or giant spiders. The Queen was the puppet master, controlling them all. But wait, there's more. She took on Captain America and turned him into the scary Spider King with help from the Jackal. The city got hit hard by the spider flu and more folks got infected. The Queen's powers grew stronger thanks to this connection to the Web of Life. When she found out about a cure being made at Horizon Labs, she played some tricks with Jonah Jameson, making him to do bad things. But the cure worked better than she thought. Spider King got better and the Queen got mad. She screamed and killed the Jackal, and well, her powers went all over the place and she fought Captain America again. But Venom showed up and finished her off with Cap's shield. The Queen got really big and monstrous, and the city was in trouble. Heroes teamed up and Spider-Man used some octopus tech to spread the cure. It worked, and the Queen's powers got weaker. Marvel people really know to amalgamate their universes whenever required. This wasn't over though. Miss Marvel made a brilliant move next. She sent Kane, who wasn't affected by the Queen's scream, to take her down. Kane did it, and the Queen's reign of terror ended. Iron Man checked her out and found out she was actually Adriana Soria. Her story was over once more. Or was it? Plot twist. Jackal is alive. Psych! He returns again. How? Well, the plot took a surprising turn later on. It was revealed that the Queen had mistakenly killed a clone of the true Jackal, not the original. This deception was cunningly made, by the way, to complicate matters. The Jackal seized one of her limbs and leveraged her DNA to craft a series of clones, christening the Spider Queens. These duplicates faced their downfall in a battle against Alpha and Spider-Man, underscoring the extent of the web of duplicity that had been spun. As it turns out, only the Queen can handle her clones well. Exploring the majestic powers of the Spider Queen. Anna's genetic makeup is nothing short of remarkable. Surprisingly, almost 1/3 of the world population harbors a dormant insect gene, a relic of our evolutionary past. Anna is the only reported mutant within this category, which is known as Homo insectus. Her latent skills were awakened by nuclear radiation, acting as a catalyst for a network of capabilities inextricably linked to her unique genetic history. The plot thickens as Spider Island reveals the intricate link between her powers and the vast web of life and destiny. Anna's abilities are simply extraordinary. She possesses strength that goes beyond normal human limitations, having the capacity to lift up to a ton. Her talents are both physical and metaphysical, including telepathy, which allows her to converse with her insect friends across long distances. The telepathic link allows her to control insects and humans who have the insect gene. This domination extends to the telekinetic manipulation of their motions, which is carried out with exact precision. Her mental prowess is such that only those with tremendous resolve, like Spiderman, can withstand her. Anna's abilities include telekinesis, which allows her to control mass in space psionically. She orchestrates the motor functions of live and inanimate objects, including insects and humans, through the insect gene. Anna's saliva contains mutagenic enzymes, which is crucial. This substance causes changes in people who come into contact with it, providing spider-like abilities and permanently connecting them to the web of life and destiny. This transformation finally results in the appearance of spider monsters. The mystical subtleties of the enzyme are visible in its unique influence on those who have the insect gene. Its effects not only strengthen her relationship with the web, but also aid in her demonesque metamorphosis. Anna's array of abilities is wide. The sonic scream, a reverberating sonic assault, establishes her dominion over her territory. Her capacity to transform into a monster spider-like thing is also important. The power of this change is directly related to her symbiotic relationship with the web of life, which draws strength from myriad interrelated arachnids inside it. Her appearance as an Omega-level threat, as designated by Captain America and his comrades, emphasizes the scope of her skills. Anna's extraordinary abilities are not limited to the aforementioned. In reality, she boasts a plethora of superhuman skills, establishing her as an unrivaled power in the area of unusual abilities. Her inherent talents aren't the only ones she has. She is no stranger to battle, which she uses to supplement her incredible abilities. She thrives in both armed and unarmed conflicts. Her diverse ability as a fighter blends perfectly with her extraordinary abilities, making her incredibly powerful. Daddy Longlegs can wait for its turn. It's Mommy Longlegs time now. Marvelous verdict. Her journey highlights the unpredictable essence of life, from her curious beginnings as a scientist to her surprising transition as a powerful Spider Queen. The exploits and daring jail escape only add to the mystery surrounding her image. Finally, keep in mind that remarkable achievements frequently arise from the most unexpected settings. Whether you support Spider-Man or the Spider Queen, this story adds mystery and humor alike to the fabric of heroes and enemies. That's it for today. Join us for more adventures in these marvelous stories. Until then, keep your curiosity and sense of wonder alive. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.